Well, hello there. Thank you for checking out our video today. This is your favorite street rat, Cody, and I'm bringing you another video for KO Cards. Today's feature presentation will be our Ruby Emerald deck featuring Aladin and Genie. And if you like what you see and you want to be part of our world, please consider liking and subscribing. So we're going to jump right into the deck profile. And we're going to start with the 2-drops. And being that it's the first chapter, the card pool is kind of small, so there's a lot of consistency here. We play 4 Flynn Rider. He's a 1/2 that quests for 2, but if you attack him or challenge him, your opponent has to discard a card. Then we play 4 of the 2-drop Genie. He's a 2/3 and a quest for 1. Pretty much just play him for the name though. Follow that, we play 4 of the 2-drop Green Aladdin, who's a 2/2 and quest for 1, and he has the keyword Ward. Ward is a very strong ability that says your opponent cannot choose this character for anything except to challenge. So, pretty strong card. I primarily use it just for the name, but pretty good. That's it for the 2-drops. Moving on to the 3-drops, we play 4 of the Cheshire Cat. This card is very, very strong in this meta. It's 0 power and 3 toughness. I have to learn the terminology still, but he's got 3 health. 2 lore, and he has the effect that when this character is challenged and banished, you banish the challenging character as well. So it kind of slows down your opponent by getting rid of one of their characters. And questing for 2 is pretty good. Followed up, we got one of my favorite characters in the franchise, Aladdin. The Street Rat, ironically. He's a 2/2 that quests for 1, and when you play this character, you have your opponent lose 1 lore. So it's a little disruptive, and it's an Aladdin, which is important. You'll see why later on. The final 3-drop that we play 4 of is the trusty sidekick Abu. He's a 3/2, so he's able to beat a lot of other weaker characters and challenges, and he also quests for 2. I enjoy this card a lot, primarily just because we're having fun right now, but this deck did technically go undefeated at locals, so it's only 3 rounds, but it was still pretty fun to play. The last card we play is 1 Yago. He's a 1/4, quest for 1, and he has the keywords, you got a problem. You can exert this character to force one of your opponent's characters, well, any character really, to gain the keyword Reckless, which forces that character to attack, or challenge, during the next turn. So, because he is then exerted, they have a character that they're forced to attack. So, just kind of staying on point with the Aladdin theme. But that is it for the 3-drop characters. We don't really play any 4-drops, because our turn 4 usually consists of playing a 2-drop and playing a 2-cost card, whether it's an item or a song. But our turn where we have 5 ink, we always want to shift into the Aladdin. This is the Heroic Outlaw. He's a 5/5 and quests for 2, and you can shift onto any other Aladdin, regardless of color, for 5. And then he has the keyword, Daring Exploit. So when this character banishes a character in a challenge, your opponent loses 2 lore and you gain 2 lore. This card is very, very strong. You should get used to seeing it and anticipate your opponent playing it. So you need to have a way to prepare yourself to beat this card. The next 5-drop we play 3 of. This is the Mad Hatter. If you're playing the cat, you have to play Mad Hatter. Card's super strong. 2 power, 4 health, and he quests for 3. He also has the keyword Tea Party. So whenever this character is challenged, you draw a card. So if they have to challenge him twice in a turn to get rid of him, when they're going to want to, because they're not want to continue to allow you to get 3 lore off of him, that means you'll get to draw 2 cards, and they're not questing. So very, very good counterintuitive card to your opponent's strategies. We play a Jamba. So this card is kind of just big. He's a 4/5 and quests for 4, and only costs 5. Plus, he's from Lilo and Stitch, and that's my truly favorite Disney movie. Then we play one more 5-drop card, Cusco. This card is very, very strong. I would like to play more of it, but it is uninkable, and this deck already plays a lot of uninkable cards, and you have to keep your uninkable card count low in a 60-card deck. Unless, of course, you're playing Sapphire, because it's Sapphire. But a 2/4 that quests for 3, and he has the effect No Touchy. So when this character is banished in a challenge, kind of like Cheshire Cat, you are allowed to banish your opponent's challenging character. He also has the keyword Ward. So if your opponent's trying to get rid of this Aladdin with cards like Smash or other actions, you can protect him by playing a Cusco on the turn after you go into this. Pretty strong play, and questing for 3 is always amazing. That is it for our 5 drops. Moving on to our 6 drops, we play 4 Genie on the Job. This card is astonishing. The Enchanted Rare is amazing. And this card simply says it's evasive and it has Disappear. So when you play this character, you get to choose any character on the board, yours or your opponent's, and return it to that player's hand. He's a 3/4 that quests for 2, and he's a genie, which again will come up later. We play then 1 Stitch, the Abomination. It's a pretty good character. He's a 4/6, so kind of hard to deal with. He quests for 3, and he only costs 6, plus it's Stitch. We also then play 1 Mother Gothel. This card is super, super strong, and if I did want to put more of a higher cost character in this deck, I would probably up the count of her to 2. She's a 3/6 and quests for 2, and she has the keyword Skip the Drama, Stay with Mama. Keywords in this game are a little strange, but I do enjoy it. That effect says that when this character is exerted, your opponent's characters cannot quest. So that means they have to take care of her, and 3 power fighting back is usually pretty good. It sets up a lot of damage, so your Aladdins can then take easier banishings on your opponent's characters. Super strong card. Would definitely recommend it. And the final character we play in this deck is Power Unleashed Genie. This card is why we're playing this deck. He's a 3/5, which doesn't seem like a lot, and he quests for 3. And he's uninkable. I did forget to mention, this Genie over here is also uninkable, so it's a little unfortunate, but they're so strong it kind of has to be the counts they are. If you want, you could cut this down to 2, I think, but if you have 3, you see it more commonly. And getting off the combo that I can explain, if you guys have any questions, just comment down below. Super, super strong. He also has evasive, and he shifts on top of any other Genie for 6, so that's pretty good. That's why we play so many Genies. And the best part about this card, in my opinion, is Phenomenal Cosmic Power. And that says when this character quests, you can then play an action from your hand that costs 5 or less. So there's a lot of very strong 5-cost action cards in this game, and this card lets you capitalize on using actions for free. And just to remind you, songs are also actions, so realistically you can even play a song for free. Super, super strong card, one of the heavy hitters of the deck. Next we'll move on to the items. There's only 2, and we play 2 Stolen Scimitar. This card gives your characters a little bit more power, and if it's Aladdin, which most of them are, it gives them 2 extra power, or strength. You really need to learn this terminology. But it stays in play, and you can use it for anyone, and giving that 1 extra power up is super, super relevant in some matchups. Moving on to the actions, this is one of my favorite parts of this deck. Fan the Flames. This card is amazing. You can ready one of your chosen characters, and then that chosen character cannot quest. But your Aladdin doesn't need to quest to gain lore and steal lore from your opponent. So this card is one of my favorites. In the original tournament that I played and went 3-0, I only played 1, and I was playing 3 Yagos. I ended up cutting 2 of the 3 Yagos for 2 more Fan the Flames, and I played like 2 games or 2 matches since then, and I have to say, I really, really like that change. Next up, we play 2 Tangled. This card simply says, your opponent loses 1 lore. Now, it might not seem like such a good thing, but if you're playing it for free, and you're comboing it with like an Aladdin, making your opponent lose 3 or even 5 lore in a single turn is very, very strong. And again, if they get that early game and it's your turn 4, sometimes you just want to play a Genie or play an Aladdin, and then play Tangled. Just to slow them down that 1 extra little bit. I did only play 1. I swapped out the card Stampede. It allows you to deal 2 damage to a chosen damaged character. primarily just because in most of my matchups it didn't really come up, and again, it was one of those uninkable cards, and those really do kind of slow down your game plan. You need to be able to ink every turn up to turn 6. So you really got to keep your uninkable count down in this combo, or in this color combo, I should say. And our final action is going to be 4 of one of the strongest actions in the first chapter, and that is Dragonfire. This is a 5-cost uninkable action that simply says banish a chosen character. So anything your opponent has, you can get rid of. Maleficent is very, very powerful. I choose not to play the card itself, Maleficent, because in this deck I really never even play more than 6 or 7 ink, and that card's like expensive. But super, super strong card. Would not play less than 4 Dragonfire. If you want, you could probably cut it down to 3 if you're not relying on the Genie package as much as I am, but this is the list I'm running with, and it's been working. So that is it for the actions. Last but not least, one of the favorite parts of any Disney movie are some songs. And A Sudden Chill is an amazing card in this deck. It forces your opponent to discard a card from their hand. So if your opponent has attacked a Flynn Rider, and you can set up another Flynn Rider and sing this song with any of your 2-drop characters, your opponent's going to lose 3 cards in their hand, probably by like the 4th turn of the game. And if they're inking and playing a card every turn, unless they're playing purple, their hand size is going to get very, very small, very, very fast. And in that case, at some point in time in the mid-range of the game, you will be able to start taking a controlling lead in the cards that are on the field, because you'll have cards still to use in your hand where your opponent will not. And the last song we play 2 of, another uninkable, Mother Knows Best. It's essentially kind of like Genie's Disappear. You just choose any character in play and return it to that character or that player's hand. It does cost 3. It's uninkable, but it is an action, so you can play it for free with Genie's effect, and you can play it. You can sing it with many of your characters that are usually in play on your 3rd, 4th, or even 5th turn of the game. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And remember, if you guys are looking for any of the cards in this video, or our others, you could find a magic lamp, give a rub, and your wish might come true. Or you can click on the TCGPlayer link in the description below and shop with us. Have a great day, guys. Peace.